Hi and welcome to this video. Today I'll be sharing with you 7 simple single-key keyboard shortcuts that you must know when you're using Jupyter Notebook. Let's dive right in. I've prepared some sample code here, but you can imagine if you were starting out on a clean slate, you might want to first be able to create and delete cells as and when you like. So to add a cell above the current cell, press A for above, and if you want to add a cell below the current cell, press B. Now what if you make a mistake? Then to delete, you simply press D twice. So double D, double D. Now the next thing you might want to do is to be able to toggle between cell types. So we have the code cell type and the markdown cell type. Let's see an example of this. First, let me add a cell above by pressing A. And now to change the cell to a markdown cell, I press M for markdown. And I can start typing in markdown. Let's say 7 simple single key keyboard shortcuts. And there we have it. But what if you wanted to change a markdown cell to a code cell? You might think you should press C for code, but it turns out the key C is already reserved for another function, which we will see in just a moment. So the single key you should be pressing here should actually be Y to change a markdown cell to a code cell, and it automatically changes it to a command. So if I want to change it back, I press M again. Once you're able to create, delete cells, and toggle between the cell types, you might want to be able to copy and paste cells without having to type out everything over and over again. So how might we do that? To copy a cell, simply select the cell and press C. So that's what the C key was reserved for. And then press V to paste the cell below the current cell. And we see we have a duplicate. But if you just wanted to move the cell from one place to another without having any duplicates, then you could just press X to cut the cell and it's gone, but we can have it back by pressing V to paste it below. And now we have moved the cell from above to slightly lower. And what if you don't like pasting below, you want to paste above, then that would simply be Shift V. And then we can paste the cell above. And double D to delete the cells, and we are back to square one. Let's also have that cell back there. Now with all this copying and pasting, you might run into a situation where you want to undo what you've done. Maybe you made a mistake and you accidentally deleted a long code cell by pressing double D. How do we undo that? You might jump straight for the Command Z, but if I press Command Z, actually nothing's happening. But there is a way, and the way is to actually just press Z. So a single key keyboard shortcut is to press Z, and there we have our sentences list back. So Z is actually a really powerful single key keyboard shortcut. If you delete, simply press Z and it's back. The fifth single key keyboard shortcut that you should know is line numbers. How do we toggle line numbers? So that's as simple as pressing L for line numbers. Now it might look pretty useless. Why would I need line numbers for such a simple piece of code? But you might imagine if I have a longer piece of code and I accidentally make a mistake and somehow I get an error. Now you notice the error message shows you the line numbers 678, 45678, but in your code cell there are no line numbers. So you can imagine if you have a very long piece of code and you're trying to find the line numbers, you're not going to count everything individually one by one. You can simply press escape, press L, and then we can straight away see all the line numbers and zoom in on the error. So L is a very useful single key keyboard shortcut for debugging. Number 6 single key keyboard shortcut that you must know is find and replace. So find and replace, that will be F. And then we can find in this particular code, let's say logging, and we immediately see the results out there. And we can straight away replace it with something else and press replace all, and there we have it. If I want to undo, I simply press Command Z this time back to the original state. So Command Z is to undo changes made within the cell itself. Last but not least, if you don't remember any of these simple single keyboard shortcuts, the one that you must remember is H. H is for help. And here you can see all the keyboard shortcuts available in Jupyter Notebook. Another shortcut similar in spirit would be the palette shortcut. So palette for P, we press P, we can see all the options that we have to manipulate a cell. So we can say change the cell to a heading 1, and we can see we have our heading 1 and the cell is now a markdown cell. If I want to undo this, I escape, I press P again, and I can change the cell back to code So that's it for this video. If you liked it, do consider subscribing as I will be posting another video on more useful keyboard shortcuts for Jupyter Notebook. Thanks for watching.